Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. It's your boy Papa Dom. It is episode 157. We are back live and direct just like we always do every Thursday night, every Friday morning if you're listening to us on the pre-recorded version on iTunes, Google Play, all that good stuff. Welcome back. As always, I have my beautiful, and I do mean beautiful, co-host with me. My first co-host is a fellow holiday candle enthusiast. You can find us both getting teary-eyed discussing the plot of Love Actually. And unlike me, he can put a star up on a Christmas tree without using a step stool or pulling his shoulder out of his socket from reaching up too high. Chris P., how are you?
What is up, my fucking kings? Dude, I'm excited for Christmas. I'm putting my tree up this weekend. I know it sounds kind of Scroogey that it's not up already, but I get the Christmas candles around the house. The house smells like the North Pole. It's incredible. The tree's gonna go up, but I feel bad putting it up without my roommate because, I don't know if he is as jolly as I am. But it is gonna go up this weekend. The stockings are gonna go up. It's gonna be absolutely incredible. The red wine's gonna get whipped out. Love Actually is gonna be turned on the TV. It's gonna be a phenomenal weekend. But I'm happy to be back for episode 157. It is your frigging boy, Chris P, the tallest and the lankiest.
Pete said Chris's apartment smells like Christmas tree shop.
That's for damn sure, Pete.
My next co-host, he may come off as a bit of a Scrooge sometimes, but we know that if there's one thing that's happened, it's that his heart is growing. We don't know how fast it's growing, but we'll get him up to 4 sizes. But he truly is a gift. And he does look absolutely exquisite in ugly holiday sweaters and will quickly flex right out of them at a moment's notice. Dr. Bob, how are you?
Well, what's up, YouTube? We're going to be playing crossbow tag in the park today.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm Dr. Bob, paging Dr. Bob. I'm doing okay. I'm very excited for this week to be over because I got very little to do next week. Mm-hmm. Work-wise, and I'm just trying to get all of it out of the way, and once I'm done with most of it tomorrow, I'm fucking cruising.
Love that. Bob, I feel like if you were something you got for Christmas, you'd be a stocking filled with coal. Just because it's very
because you could use me to fuel and heat your house for the rest of the day because I'm so warm.
And big and heavy and in the way.
Yeah, I disagree with the latter portion, but yeah. Okay, I see what you're going for. Yeah, makes sense.
Just fueling the furnace of our hearts with all of your clean, renewable energy.
Yeah,
clean coal. Clean coal.
Clean coal. That's your new online name, Clean Coal.
WGG no. Clean coal.
Nope, I already got my new Twitter handle lined up for whenever I have to create a new Twitter.
Oh shit!
Wow, Bob back on Twitter?
Not yet.
I mean, you just foreshadowed it.
I mean, you're gonna just break promises now.
I'm not making any promises.
Oh, okay.
I'm just throwing it out there on the table. I'm lined up. I'm ready to go.
All right.
But if it happens.
Oh, I'm ready to do a little weekend recap.
Damn, son. Where'd you find this?
Chris, how about you? How was your weekend? How was your little turkey day? How's everything? How'd it go?
So my weekend's gonna roll into a long weekend because we celebrated America's #2 best holiday in the world, and that's Thanksgiving Eve, followed by the third best, which is Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Eve, it's a gauntlet, dude. It is an absolute gauntlet. It was fun. It was one of the first times in a long time my night has been really spotty. Usually it's okay, I had fun, I drank a lot, it is what it is. But there's just so many moving parts to the whole night. It was just spotty, but it was fun. Got to spend time with my good friends. Celebrate at a local watering hole like we do every year. It was great. My turkey day was phenomenal. Ate a lot. Had about 6 portions of mashed potatoes, some gravy. I ended up having cranberry sauce, but it was just to prove a point on Twitter because I posted a TikTok of me with the X-Files theme playing and me looking at cranberry sauce being like, what the fuck is my family doing?
You should have held a lime fucking Truly in your other hand.
I had a glass of red wine. I should. Oh, that's actually a genius idea. It's like a cranberry lime Ricky. But I finally decided it doesn't taste that bad. The texture is just really, really weird. Big time texture guy. It's I don't even like lobster. And I know that sounds wild, but I just don't. But all in all, my holiday was great. Drank a lot, spent some time with the family, ate a lot, slept a lot, and then ended up going to New York last weekend, which was my first time in the city.
Oh, nice.
So fun. So fun. So fun. Tried so many good restaurants. I had a New York bagel for the first time. Put locks on it like I'm some sort of bougie prick. And it was incredible. I don't even like fish like that, but it was just phenomenal. I had a really good time in New York. But great weekend, great holiday. Bob. My motherfucking boy.
Hold on one sec. Brylan, can thank you for the sub and thank you for the 12 months that you've subscribed for. We love you and we appreciate you very much.
Thank you, Brylan.
Bob, how was your weekend and how was your holiday and all that stuff?
It was okay. I wanted to lay as low as I possibly could for when it comes to long weekends, I like to just relax.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's always the short weekends where I'll go out and I'll just fucking explode and I'll drink way too much. So Thanksgiving Eve, I stayed in and I just streamed, and I played a lot of video games. I played a ton of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I'm almost done with it. I'm getting so fucking close. The game is so good. The game literally just gets better as you play through it.
Like a fine wine.
Yeah, I mean I've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's been up and down. It's the game just doesn't get better.
Right.
It just gets worse and then goes back to being where it was. But yeah, I didn't really do much. And then Thanksgiving I spent with my cousins, Chris 2 and Christina. So shout out to them. Thank you guys for having me. It was a wonderful Thanksgiving. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, and this is a little foreshadowing, but what I've been playing the Master Chief Collection on PC, and that's a little foreshadowing to one of our topics that we're going to talk about, but having a blast, but I'll get into it more. Dom, how was your weekend? How was your holiday? What are you playing?
It wasn't bad, and listen, guys, I don't want to like brag too much, and I'm not going to change into this just yet because I get the merch on, but your boy is a champion, ran a 5K on Thanksgiving, right here, talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Turkey trot.
I was conned into signing up for a turkey trot by my friends, and not gonna lie, was smoking people's boots left and right. I was feeling great.
There's people in fucking because you're lying. There's people in like walkers.
There was people in walkers. There was people with baby strollers. There was people. Oh no, I was leaving people in the fucking dust. You should have seen
My
it.
ass.
You should have fucking seen it, dude. I got up at 8 a.m. It was torrential downpours. You would have thought Noah's Ark was about to pull up and parallel park next to us. That's how bad it was raining. But we pulled up. I was like, listen, rain or shine, we're doing this. We didn't blink an eyelash. Finished like a fucking champion. And then went to a local watering hole and rewarded myself with a nice Bloody Mary. That felt great. So yeah, I got a little turkey medal around here somewhere. It's beautiful, but I don't know. Long story short, I'm not going to say that I can see this being a future for myself, but I'll see you on Boylston Street next year, boys. That's all I'm going to say.
Dude, that's how you know you're getting old, when like your Thanksgiving morning after arguably the biggest drinking night of the year, you're looking forward to going on a run.
I mean, I wouldn't say I was looking forward to it. I mean, I wouldn't say that that was like, but it felt good though because you get the poison out from the night before, sweat that right out. B, I started my morning, got the juices flowing nice and early, and then I felt like I earned my food. Like the food felt that much better. I feel like I haven't gotten a whole lot done like physically. Like I'm not exactly this isn't exactly like the ideal male form, right? But like
you don't say.
No, I mean, listen, I look like I feel like I look like Leonardo DiCaprio, but like in those like unflattering like beach pictures where like you can tell the dude hasn't had to like drop any weight for a movie in about 2 years, and he's just kind of like bent over with like a cig hanging off his lip. Like that's the kind of stage. That's the level of accessibility that I'm going for. I'd call myself approachable at best.
No, you're definitely approachable.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can do it when you're in a position like myself. Maybe it's like an iron deficiency or just a workout deficiency as a whole.
Iron deficiency.
No. Don't start diagnosing yourself here.
I went on WebMD. I went on WebMD. I have lack of iron in the blood. I need more red wine, it says. Oh my God. So when I go on runs, no lie, I see stars within like 5 minutes, like legitimate stars, like black spots popping in and out of my head, and like shiny things happening.
Yeah.
That can't be good for me. So why do something that's not good for me? People say running's good for you. I say bullshit because I should never feel like that.
I
not
mean,
good for you.
if you well, don't just start sprinting for the 111 bus. You know, I mean, you can kind of take it easy. That's what I've been doing. I've been like doing a little bit at a time.
No,
And-
my final last words: if you're gonna walk in the sun, you might as well dance. If I'm gonna run, I'm gonna fucking sprint.
You're
dude.
just
I'm
like
gonna give
running
all-
like Forrest Gump to the end of your street, and then they find a slumped over body on a park bench.
like this, just feeling my fucking pulse, making sure
The
I'm not
kid's
gonna
like, get me a
keel
double
over.
quarter pounder.
Please, no ketchup.
But yeah, so did that, ran the 5K. Thanksgiving was good, had a lot of food. My mother made some like homemade espresso martinis, so you know that went well. Hung out with the siblings, with the in-laws. You know, everything was great. The weekend itself ended up at the casino.
Ooh.
Feeling great about that. They dropped the table minimum, so you know we were like, we'll go check it out, we'll see what happens. Went to a Christmas pop-up bar, got the Christmas tree. The entire house is just, I mean, it's Santa's workshop in here right now. There's literally like Christmas presents behind me and shit. So, yeah, just unbelievable. But been playing a lot of. I finished Jedi Fallen Order, which I am officially ready to call my game of the year. I've been saying it for like 3 weeks anyway, but like it's my game of the year. I mean, Jedi Fallen Order was fucking amazing. The story was great, and I don't know whose door I need to knock on to get a sequel greenlit already for this, or to get like some story DLC or something like that. But just it was just excellent. And so I downloaded Pokemon Shield as well. I've been playing that. That is also very, very good. Just like everything else in the year 2019, there's a lot of just unwarranted bitching left and right, and people just can't fucking enjoy video games, especially when they're like franchises that they should be able to enjoy.
I don't know if it's completely unwarranted.
I know it's incredibly overboard. There's like petitions. There's like petitions being like, President Trump, please block Game Freak from releasing this game. Those are the people I'm talking about.
I agree that the whining, especially when it comes to like the consumer base in gaming, like with people who love franchises, I think that it's over bloated and people are just way too fucking loud about it. But like there is some warrant behind people complaining at Game Freak, because Game Freak literally lied to the player base where they said, oh yeah, we can't put more Pokemon in because we're rebuilding Pokemon models from the ground up, when in reality they didn't do that. They just copied models from previous games. They lied. They lied. At the end of the day, they lied to
Sure,
the consumer.
and I mean, regardless of the way that they handled that situation, which was still bad, the game itself is still phenomenal, and I'm also I think it's still an insane undertaking to have like we got to be close to bumping up against 1,000 different models. You know, and I don't know, like, obviously, like, the National Dex is a staple in the game, but I would rather them keep innovating and creating new spaces and creating, like, new characters and stuff like that than have to, like, I would rather that stuff come first and have, like, the National Dex stuff come later, if it has to be that way. And if it has to be that way, that's fine. I mean, granted, do I want them to be completely transparent about it? Yes. Yes. For sure.
Yeah. Just don't... Here's how you make everything so much better when you're releasing a game. Don't fucking lie about it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, I think that, like, the majority of it, though, is, like, just so overboard, and people are like, I'm boycotting this game because I can't get a Bulbasaur in it. But, honestly, I'm having a great time interacting with the new world that they've built. The new creatures are awesome, and there's a lot of great new characters, like the cities and stuff like that. Like, the setting that it's in is, like, super cool. So I would recommend checking it out if you're even, like, a little bit of a Pokemon fan. It's the first one on, like, the first, like, real mainline installment on a console, if you don't count, like, Pokemon Coliseum, which you shouldn't. And it's really, really good. And it's really, really good. So would recommend. It's very good. It's very charming, and it's almost got like some MMO aspects to it because there's like the whole wild area, like free roaming and stuff. It's really it's awesome. So
should we be expecting a Pokemon Stadium 3 on the Switch at some point?
This already is that. Lit. This like already is that. I mean, it's like this reminds me of like when I played Pokemon. I mean, the whole idea of like Pokemon Stadium was like you get to see your Pokemon in 3D. You get to plug in your Game Boy cartridge to the expansion thing, and then you can battle them. But, like, this is already that. Like, you already get to do that. I think it would be cool to have, like, I mean, there's nothing that they... there's nothing that they've done with Pokemon Stadium that they can't do with Sword and Shield.
Ooh,
You know what?
Listen to this.
Can Sword and Shield give me Pokemon Stadium 3?
Yeah,
yeah. Well, like the
but
thing is that the gym battles are in huge stadiums. That's the idea. Is like
Don't care. I want the title. I want the title Pokemon Stadium 3. That's it.
I don't know. I don't know how to help you.
I know how to help you guys. So we're gonna completely null and void that idea, and we're gonna bring Pokemon Snap back.
Fine with that too.
To the Switch. I mean, they already have the technology with like the whole the AR that they're doing on Pokemon Go. Make a more casual game. Bring back Pokemon Snap. You're walking around the city and fucking Squirtles like popping out of the sewer. Like just like cool shit like that. Get the kids back on board. Do it for the fucking kids. Do it for the kids.
But yeah, so yeah, Gen Infamous was like Pokemon Snap is Pokemon Go. I mean, and it's not.
But we don't want that label. We don't want that label on it. We want Pokemon Snap 2.
That's right.
Well, there was the game's good, so go play it. That's all I got for you.
No, boycott it and wait for Pokemon Stadium 3.
Don't do that. All right, so moving right along, just while we're talking about what games to buy and what games to not buy, we might as well just get right into it. Last year we did this on the show. We talked a little bit about just like gift giving recommendations. We've thrown out the word game of the year a few times in the last couple episodes. So we're going to be going through our 2019 holiday gift guide. And I'm not publishing anything. I'm not going to mail you anything, but I think we could talk about, go around and talk about, the best new things to get for a loved one. If you got somebody that you're buying games for, whether it's a significant other or a kid or, something like that, we want to kind of go down the list. So I've separated this into a couple categories. So one that I've got is like best new console. Like if you're getting somebody a big old gift and you're getting them a new console, like which console do you need this holiday? I haven't really looked at any of the bundles, but I think just considering the current state of the big three consoles, that should be relatively easy to suss out. Best like ongoing games. So like, hey, you get somebody who is frequently just basically always up in their room playing games during holidays. What's one that they can really sink their teeth into? A must-buy for your like hardcore gamers that for me that's probably Jedi Fallen Order. Best like casual game, and then maybe that's kind of the same, but like a casual family game, and then like a good co-op game. So, for me, I think that it's a no-brainer that I think the Switch is probably the best console that you can buy this holiday. If you know somebody who doesn't have one, it's got something for everybody. It's the most accessible. It's going to be the one that is the most. I think that you're going to get more value out of that right now than you are for a Xbox One or a PS4, since they're both going to get updated next year. Those are probably both in their twilight hours. There might be some great bundles. I would say a Switch is going to be what you want. That's going to sell. I mean, it's just going to sell stupid amounts this year anyway. They did just release a Switch Lite as well, which is a little bit better if you got maybe younger kids who want something with brighter colors, or maybe if you don't want them to hook it up to the TV. I would say a Nintendo Switch is going to be my like best new console that you should buy somebody. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I have to agree. I know it's boring, but anyone buying an Xbox One or a PS4 right now, they're throwing their money away, regardless of who they're buying it for. Yeah, you can stay in that gen, but people have been waiting so long for the updated versions of those consoles. It's like buying a new iPhone, knowing a new one's coming out in 2 months or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's really throwing it away. With the Switch, it's more, it appeals to multiple audiences, right? So you can buy it for a young kid. You could buy it for a significant other. They're going to find something on the Switch that they like. And we live in an age now where people are already playing mobile games, right? Like they're on break at work and they pull their phone out. They play Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, whatever the fuck they're playing. Hopefully not Angry Birds. But it's something that you can portably bring with you that like the working man or woman can appreciate, as well as a kid that is sitting in the back of the car for a long drive. I think it's the most bang for your buck you can get on a console right now, because what is it, like $300?
Yeah, $299, and you could probably do even if it is
Switch Lite's $200.
Yeah, I mean 200. So call it call it 300 for the sake of the story, right? That is value on something that you're going to be able to use for a longer time than something. Well, you'll be able to use it more than a console you have to literally just only use when you're home.
Yeah, I would say if you wanted to go with a different console, and you went with like a PS4 or a Xbox One, get them Xbox Game Pass or get them whatever the PlayStation. What is it? PlayStation
Now.
PlayStation Now. Get them. Just get them an Xbox One with Xbox Game Pass because it's got a bajillion games on there, and it's like $100 for the year, and it'll get them online and a ton of free games. You literally don't even need to buy them a game. But yeah, I would go with a Switch. A Switch would be like my if you're a must-have console. You get some long car rides for the holidays. You know, whether there's somebody who commutes or stays at home, if it's a little kid or they're older, it's my favorite console that I've ever bought with my own money. So
yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. And like you said, the whole Game Pass or something, that's something I'm going to get into in a different category, but that's a very, very good idea. Bob, what do you think?
I mean, I think there's really no wrong answer to this. Like you guys said, the Switch has longevity on its side where this is going to be the Nintendo console for like X amount more years before they try to re-innovate and do something new. So clearly you're going to get your money's worth. But you also mentioned the fact that like Xbox now has Game Pass with hundreds of games already listed on there. It's bang for your buck, you know? You buy the console, you pay monthly, and then you have access to all of these games with new ones being released all the time. But personally, for me, I think the PlayStation is going to be your best bet no matter what you do, like especially this time of year, even though there's a PlayStation 5 on the horizon.
Yeah.
I think so. Last year during Black Friday, I bought the PS4 Slim Spider-Man bundle for $200, and that was arguably 200 of the best dollars I've ever spent, because you get access to pretty much the greatest video game library, like exclusive video game library out of all the consoles right now. Mm-hmm. PlayStation just has the titles that you want to play, and every major title outside of Nintendo exclusives you can play on the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. Like when you really think about it, Xbox exclusives weren't what sold the console this year. Game Pass pretty much sold the console this year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It works for me.
I think I'm pretty sure there's bundles out right now for the PlayStation 4. For a PlayStation 4 Slim, 1 terabyte, and it comes with 3 games. And it comes with The Last of Us, which is
sick.
You know, it's a console generation back, but it was remastered for the PlayStation 4. It comes with God of War, genuinely in my heart one of the greatest games ever created. And then I think it also comes with I can't remember the third game that it comes with. But regardless, you're getting, if you're spending $200, you're getting, in its twilight hour, you're getting the best console to release this generation, and you're getting access to all of the best games, best exclusive games in its library. I think you couldn't, generally you can't go wrong with any of these options because there's so much to go with from. But in my opinion, PlayStation was the best bet that I made last year. There's a reason why I bought.
What was that that bundle that you said? How much did that run?
I think it was $200 for a PlayStation 4 Slim 1 terabyte with The Last of Us, God of War, and one other game. I can't remember the game.
Jesus, I mean, it's $200. I mean, that's a fucking steal.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there's a reason why I bought a PS4 bundle last Black Friday instead of a Switch bundle last Black Friday. Like, I want to play. Those are the games that I want to play. Of course, I enjoy Nintendo games, and I bought a Switch Lite for my girlfriend, and she gave me her console Switch so I could hook it up to my computer at some point. And I look forward to playing Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. But like, I have a backlog of PlayStation games that I need to get through.
Yeah, there's some goddamn classics on the Switch. Like 2 out of my favorite games of like this generation are from the Switch, and that's Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, like you said. JB Genesis, thank you for the bits. Happy holidays to you as well. But yeah, you definitely can't go wrong. I would say for me, my oven's going off. For me, I thought that was my pacemaker. So yeah, I mean, I would say,
do you need me to come over?
Yeah, please, honestly. Yeah, I think like the Switch was the first console I went like all digital with, and I have been really, really happy with just being like the versatility of it. I mean, it obviously kind of speaks for itself. PS4 definitely has, you know, the better exclusives. I mean, I just haven't been super wowed by anything. Like, I mean, obviously your first party Microsoft games are awesome, and they're still gonna be great. You know, I'm probably still gonna get an Xbox next generation just because that's what I'm gonna be able to play Halo Infinite on. Unfortunately, I'm just like locked into that now. So I mean, we'll just kind of see and hope that it pays off. But yeah, I would say my console to get this year, no matter who you're buying it for. And I've had people say like, I want to get this for my boyfriend, I want to get this for my husband, I want to get this for my wife, I want to get this for my kid, I want to get this for my aunt. There's just something on there for everybody. PS4 might be a little less accessible, depending on who you're buying it for.
Yeah, like you just said. So this is me coming at this from my own personal standpoint, I guess. I don't know the right word to say on it. But to me, when you buy a gift for someone, so let's say I'm a dad, which knock on wood, I hope I'm not as right now. But say you're a father, right, and your kid wants a console for Christmas. In their minds, as a little greedy fuck that they are, whatever you buy them this year, you have to one-up it next year, and so on and so forth. If you start entry-level with a Switch, you only have to go up incrementally. So, like, if you buy him a PS4, he's like, oh, they have no problem buying me a PS4. In your mind, that's $200. When the new console comes out, in that kid's mind,
$600.
He or she is like, oh, I can get the new console, too. Like, I already got one for Christmas. It's 5 times the price now, pal. Pick up that second job.
So you gotta aim low this Christmas, and you gotta get all of your loved ones the Soldier Boy consoles.
That's a great call. Great call. I mean, that's just relationships as a whole.
Rob, it's actually called Soldier Boy Game Console.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because I'm pretty sure he got sued into the fucking dirt.
Oh, he got sued into oblivion.
I mean, personally, matters. If I don't have some Soldier pods in my stocking, I am gonna be just livid.
You mean the knockoff AirPods that you could buy from any Chinese website for $15?
I believe I was very clear. I explicitly
charging
said
$85 for.
Yo, the Soldier iPhones are gas powered. But no, kind of just to end on the whole thing I was saying, like start small, build your way up. So is relationships, right? It's like taking a girl or a guy you're dating on the first date, and you take them to fucking Aruba. That means on the second date, you have to take them to Dubai. Start small, build your way up. Make them appreciate the little things, gift-wise, we're talking about at this point. But let's move on to the next gift, huh?
TP Poker goes, or just buy them a PS4 and get them Anthem. They'll never want to play video games again.
That's honestly a phenomenal call.
Also, speaking of gifts, shout out to JB Genesis for the 5-month resub. Thank you so much. Chris with the Daddy Tactics.
Ooh, Daddy Tactics.
That's right.
Oh my God, Dom! You know what's crazy? You mentioned something earlier that I really wanted to talk about. I think you mentioned something about Halo Infinite.
I did say something about Halo Infinite.
Okay. I was just, I mean, something just popped into my head real quick.
I think we could talk about it at some point, but I think there's a couple other gifts we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ongoing games, there's a lot of that. I think the Game Awards had like a best ongoing game things. A lot of those ongoing games are like $20-$30 right now, and they have a ton of content that's already out. For me, I think this is a no-brainer, and I think like I'm pretty sure you can get like Destiny 2 with like the last 5 expansion packs for like $20-$30 right now, and I think that's definitely something you want to pick up. There's a lot of kind of like open world, shared worlds, consistent worlds, X whatever out there right now. For me, like the best kind of we were talking like bang for your buck, like making sure you can stretch that dollar. Destiny 2 has about a bajillion hours of content, give or take 2 to 3 hours. And you can get that for like $20-$30. So that's what I'm thinking for that category right there.
Yeah, so I'm a firm believer in if you don't pay for something right off the bat, it's pretty much free. If you have to pay it in installments, you never bought it. So if you buy this person a subscription-based gaming subscription service like Xbox Game Pass or something like that, it looks like you bought all these games, right? Like maybe you have a naive kid and they don't know what Xbox Game Pass is, and you go, listen, little Bobby, I bought you hundreds of games. And in your heart, you just paid $1 because Xbox Game Pass is free for is $1 for 3 months.
Right.
You just paid $1 for a shit ton of games for the kid. Granted, he or she has to have the console already.
Can you stop manipulating your fucking children in these hypotheticals, Chris?
Dude, I am practicing. What's that quote you said the other podcast on? You're like, my goal is to
create people and then rule them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going for. Create
I
people
said
and then
this?
No, Dom said it.
Oh,
That was
like,
not,
okay,
and that was not me saying that was what I wanted to do. I just happened to, say it.
I was gonna say that sounds like something I would say.
I want my kids to be like good functioning con artists. I want them to be able to cut corners how they can, but still be a good person. Like maybe they have to hustle money playing 3-card rummy on a cardboard box in New York Common, whatever it's called, the Commons. But like make your money, be a con man, con woman. Completely cool with it. I'm gonna have to go with subscription based gaming service, preferably Xbox Game Pass.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
This one's so fucking easy. It's wild that it overshot both of your fucking heads.
Okay.
Get somebody a WoW Classic sub.
Wow.
Especially if they never played World of Warcraft Classic before. Like Chris and I. Like I wish we still played, and I wish we still had a group of people that played, but that is something that people need to experience.
Oh, 100%. You have to experience it. That's a game I never thought I'd play in my life. I always kind of breathe through my nose relatively hard when someone brought up World of Warcraft. I'm like, why the hell would I ever want to play that? And then I played it, I'm like, oh shit. This is why it's such a juggernaut of a game.
True.
WoW sub. That's my go-to.
Hey,
Also.
I cannot I cannot turn down, a recommendation for World of Warcraft. It's a great time to get into the game. New expansion coming out next year too, so who knows? Maybe they get into it. Maybe you never see them again. All right, this is pretty much just gonna be the same response that I'd give you for my game of the year, which is like a must-buy for your people who you really know. Let's just assume that they've got every console there is. They're your hardcore gamer friend, significant other, relative, nephew, son, daughter, whoever. And I would recommend that if you have anybody who likes video games, and if they haven't purchased it already, you should buy them Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order from Respawn Entertainment. Because that game is the best fucking game that I've played all year. And you know what? I'm sick of beating around the bush. It is my favorite Star Wars game ever made. Full stop. I do not care. I am sick of the fucking...
Wait, even more than KOTOR?
Yes, and I will tell you why.
Wow.
I will
okay.
tell you why. So I love KOTOR a lot. I really do. I really, really do. KOTOR has not aged well. And I've got it installed. I've got KOTOR installed on my iPad. I have it on my phone. I have it on my desktop. I've got it on an old Xbox that's collecting dust in my mom's basement. Probably have it re-downloaded on my 360. I definitely have it like queued up and ready to go if I wanted to re-download it on my Xbox One. The game has not aged well. And I love it. I have played through plenty of different scenarios, and the game is timeless. It is a classic. It is a top 5 greatest game ever made. But in terms of like just incredible cinematic Star Wars experiences, this Jedi Fallen Order is in a class of its own. Even after the Disney acquisition and they split up like the old Legends material into a different era, and now they have like the new canon. Granted, it doesn't have a whole lot of competition in that regard, but I would say that Jedi Fallen Order, in terms of just the story, the characters that they've given you, its impact on the larger Star Wars universe, and everything else, it is my favorite Star Wars game that I've ever played. So,
for that one, I'm not going to go with a game. I'm going to go with hardware. I'm going to say that you buy the hardcore gamer. What's up, gamers? You buy the hardcore gamer parts to a PC that are all compatible with one another, and you make that person put it together on their own. You can help them put it together. If it's a significant other, it's a good bonding experience if you know how to put it together. If it's a kid, it's a good father-daughter, father-son experience for them. There's something beautiful about building a computer, I'll tell you that. And I know, Chris, you're dumb as rocks, but back in my day when I used to have a couple more brain cells before I started being me. I built a couple computers. I built probably 3 computers in my life, and it was some of the best times of my life that I taught myself how to do it off YouTube. And you start with just a bunch of pieces of a puzzle on the ground, and then you press the button, and it all works.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like you troubleshoot it, like, oh, what does 1 beat mean? Okay, like the RAM is loose, and like you get in there and like you troubleshoot it yourself, and you build it from the ground up. And you take so much pride in that, and then kind of from a cheapo standpoint, they already have this computer, right? And you're able to mix and match when you build a custom PC, nothing soldered to the mothering board or anything like that, nothing that you can't kind of mix and match and upgrade. So when the time comes, and the significant other wants to upgrade their PC, you're like, okay, I can buy them. I can upgrade their RAM for them. I can upgrade their power supply. I can upgrade their processor. Get them a new graphics card. Like, you're able to pretty much set yourself up to buy them more gifts. When you build like even peripherals too, you can buy the keyboards, mice, webcams, lights. In this age now, where people are taking video games a little more serious, you cannot go wrong with the PC. Maybe I'm biased because I've played on PC, but I think that is an incredible gift to be able to let someone build it from the ground up and kind of build it over time.
Mm-hmm. So asking from somebody, from the one of the three of us who does not own like a gaming PC, because I mean, you figure a parent might spend anywhere from $200 to $500, maybe $600 on their kid. Kind of, obviously that varies. How much do you think it would cost, like ballpark, if I were to say, let's get like a mid-range serviceable gaming PC that we could like build out? We put 1,000 presents under the tree, and they're all PC components. What do you think that could run range-wise?
So are you going ground up where it's like the actual tower plus monitors and shit like that?
Yeah, I mean everything you need. Everything you need, like full stop.
It's gonna be like $1,300.
Yeah, that's a perfect call. I was gonna say 1,200,
yeah.
But 1,300, and then even from there, Dom, the thing is like that $1,300 computer, you can soup it up so it turns into a $2,300 computer. Like, you could continually upgrade it. Granted, they keep coming out with like a power supply that can support everything you're doing on the inside of it. You could continually build that over time. So call it $1,200, $1,300.
Now is not a bad time to build a computer anyway. I mean, with the recent release of like the RTX series for like the 20 series in graphics cards, those are the ones that cost $1,000 or $800 or $700. If you want to like mid-spec a computer, you could get a last gen 1070 or 1080 for like, I think a 1070 is like $250 and a 1080 is like $300, $350. Or you can get the mid-range, like the middle generation for the 1670 or 1680 series, and those are like $100 more, I think, depending on which one you get. And then there's also processors that get released every fucking 6 months at this point. You don't need to get, if you want to get all of the latest shit, it's going to be like $3,000. Like, you're going to spend $1,000 on your graphics card.
Yeah, I figured nobody's going to do that for like a gift, unless
especially for a first build computer. There's no reason to. You might as well just get a mid-spec computer that's going to last you 6 years, and then you just upgrade parts and components after 6 years.
Do you like, if somebody buys like a pre-build, would that be cheaper, and then you could?
No, it would be slightly more, but so the balance of buying a pre-built comes with you not having to do the work and you not having to like individually find the components. If you buy a pre-built, that $1,300 that you would spend on components, it will probably turn into like $1,500.
Yeah, it's like you fixing something on your car yourself or bringing it to the mechanic. There's going to be the cost to fix it plus like labor that went into it.
Yeah.
But like I have a mid-tier computer. I have the 1070, like Bob was saying.
Yeah,
I don't have the most powerful computer by any means, and I think I spent like $1,100 on it. I financed a lot of the parts, so I pay like $18 a month for some of the parts.
Right. I gotta fucking fix my camera. That's a good idea. That was an interesting spin on that topic. What about?
I would also say Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It's a must buy. That's a must buy game for me. It's game of the year 100%. I wish it was in contention for 2019 because I genuinely believe that it would beat the majority of the games that are listed right now.
I agree. I think
it's a must buy.
Yeah, it is really, really, really fantastic, and thank God that it's selling well, because I really hope that the sequel gets greenlit. And 2020 is going to be even tougher for competition because it's going to be going up against next gen games. Probably for game of the year and stuff, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Launch fucking titles for new gen consoles suck. They always fucking suck.
That's true.
The only hope that a next gen launch title to be game of the year is going to be Halo Infinite, and that's it.
Are you telling me that you didn't enjoy Perfect Dark Zero for the Xbox 360?
I did. I loved it. I love that game. I also loved Cameo Elements of Power.
Oh, that's my favorite role-playing game.
That call on Halo Infinite, it's kind of a good spin on. I think we want to talk about something else.
Yeah. Let's let's talk a little bit about big port this week. We got Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Got a huge update with Halo Reach, which came to PC. It had a little bit of a rough start. I mean, it happens all the time. A little bit of a rough start on the technical end, but now has already leapfrogged Destiny 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5 as the most popular Steam games. It runs at a nice crispy 4K 60 frames per second, even if you have like a 6-year-old graphics card. So personally, I mean, we follow a lot of Halo pros. Proximity, friend of the program, recurring guest. He was really, really big on Reach as well. I know he and I had a nice little like nostalgia trip about Halo Reach. Halo Reach is my favorite campaign in the Halo franchise. I'm not like a top tier competitive player by any means, so I know a lot of people had their gripes with that multiplayer, but they have done a lot to make Reach's multiplayer a little bit more of like a broad appeal, especially to like the hardcore guys. But now we've got this like 8-year-old arcadey, sci-fi shooter that is just rampaging across the Steam charts. And I think it's going to have a nice little impact not only on the Halo franchise, but on PC shooters moving forward. How are you guys feeling about this? Chris, did you dip your toes in already, or?
Yeah, so I've been playing it. When it first started, it was a little bumpy running on PC rather. I was worried about how it was actually going to port over. Would it feel the same? Because to me at that time, and still kind of right now, Halo is a console game. Yeah. It was designed for console. It plays the best it should on a console. So I was a little wary on how it would port over. I have to say now, it plays very, very well on PC. It plays very well. I've dipped my toes into it, not too much. I've tried to free up time, but it's bringing me back to, I hate always saying the word nostalgia, but that's what really grabbed me by the nuts on this one.
Yeah.
It brought me back to like sitting in my buddy's basement playing Halo and just like eating cosmic brownies. It brought me back to like old times. So I was like, this is cool. Like I'll mess around. And like I said about the whole Xbox Game Pass, I got this for $1. I got it for $1. So I'd be like, I mean, it's a no-brainer. As for what it's doing as a game and to the community, I think nothing could be better for the Halo franchise, bringing it to PC. It's gonna open up different avenues and it's gonna bring back some competitive, in my opinion. I think it's perfect for the competitive players to be able to try this out on PC, to bring in some new faces that really at some point maybe they didn't even get into Halo that much. It's good for the competitive scene as a whole. I think it's good for the community and just Halo as a whole. I mean, I think it could bring back Halo esports, and it could charge pretty far ahead with the uptick on what esports really is now.
Yeah, I would love to see Halo esports make like a nice big charge back. I have a feeling that Infinite, they're gonna really try to just like hammer it home on all fronts for like the big Halo lore nerds, like just your longtime series fans, and then your like esports pros. So I think this is definitely a great step in the right direction. Me personally, like I said, I love Reach. Played a couple multiplayer matches last night with my brother, and was having a great time with it. It runs great. Coincidentally, I still have like the collector's edition of Reach in my house, and I went looking for it back when they announced that it was coming to MCC. I was like, I've still got it for 360 in like the collector's case. And sure enough, the game was still in there, so I popped it in and installed it, and I was like, damn, this fucking runs like shit. And now that they upscaled it and it runs at 60 frames per second, I mean, it's buttery smooth. For the hardcore modes, they've completely eliminated Bloom, which I know is the biggest criticism for the multiplayer in that game. They had this huge teardown. I posted an article about it on wickedgoodgaming.com, but they had this huge teardown about all the different technical changes that they're making, and for the pro people, they were like, hey, you guys didn't like this, so we just fucking took it out. And which is great. So it's still there in the casual modes, but in the hardcore modes, my understanding is that Bloom is no longer a thing. Matty D is like the foremost Halo Reach hater that I know, and his Bloom is like always like his famous last words with that. So he'll be happy to know that Bloom does not exist in the hardcore modes. Bob, do you have any impressions on Halo and any thoughts on kind of just like where it's gonna go?
Yeah, I mean, to start, I don't think Matt's going to be happy with anything. So
That's
doesn't
probably
matter.
true. That is probably true.
I mean, I'm indifferent, honestly. Like, I haven't really looked forward to a console game being ported to PC in a while. I tried Gears 5 on PC, and it felt so bad that I had to refund it. I played two. One, it was poorly optimized, and two, it just felt bad to play with mouse and keyboard. So I refunded it. I don't know. I don't see anything huge coming from it. I think it's good that they're bringing it to PC and they're allowing for a wider audience to get hands on with it. I think that there are absolute opportunities for the esports to surge, and beyond that, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I think we should like stifle our expectations a little bit. I mean, these are fucking 10-year-old games at this point. There's just been this huge withdrawal from like newer games releasing, especially newer multiplayer games releasing. So you see all these big time streamers going back to fucking Counter-Strike right now because there's nothing good to play. They're playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is a 10-year-old game, and they're playing Halo Reach, which is a 10-year-old game.
I don't think there's.
Yeah, right. Dom said he was holding back tears when he opened up Halo
I did, dude. I fucking did. I was holding back tears.
What I anticipate coming from this is I think if MCC does well on PC, I think it kicks like Bethesda in the ass to make Quake good again.
Ooh.
This is what I anticipate. I think that if they're gonna make like,
did you have your tinfoil hat on when we started the podcast? Because that sounds pretty.
Hold on, let me put the tinfoil hat on.
Let me get. I wasn't ready. I almost just pulled something.
If the Master Chief Collection performs well on PC, which I anticipate it probably will, I also there's another game coming out that's a Quake clone called Diabolical, which is supposed to be really good, or supposed to be really good when it releases. I think that these arcade shooters are gonna force Bethesda's hand to make Quake a good competitive game again. Because Quake Champions is essentially a dead game. Like, I had so much fun playing that. I have friends that still play it to this day. They play it. Tone plays Quake Champions every fucking day. Like, I think Bethesda did the Quake community dirty with Quake Champions, and I think that they owe it to competitive gaming, competitive first-person gaming in general, by making a good Quake game. And I think that this could be the start of that. I think this could be the catalyst that it forces Bethesda's hand to bring Quake back. And I hope that they do, because I would love to play a Quake game that isn't Quake Champions, and I never played the ones before it because it was before my time. So
I would love to actually get hands on with Quake when it's relevant, because even when we played Quake Champions at PAX that year, it was fun, but that wasn't really when we were in the heart of the whole thing.
No,
I don't know. I think it has potential to move the dial on esports in the Halo space, because they even tried it out with Splitgate, that game that randomly popped up that was the mix of Halo and Portal. They tried doing like Twitch rivals and shit like that on that game, and it died out really quick. I guarantee if they
it's too slow. It's hold on. Let me just chime in real quick. It's because games like Halo and Splitgate are too slow for PC gaming. Like, if you're gonna play a slow shooter, you're playing Counter-Strike. If you're gonna play a competitive first-person shooter on PC, it has to be fast. It needs to be twitchy. It needs to draw the attention of viewers, which is why Apex is such a fucking was and is still such a huge deal. It's why Fortnite's such a huge deal. People don't play PUBG anymore because that game's slow as fucking molasses. And there's so much opportunity for a Quake competitive game to be released to just take the spotlight on Twitch as a competitive shooter.
Yeah, I guess when you say it like that, this might sound ignorant of me to say, but I would never really catch myself pulling up a Halo Master Chief Collection competitive game.
See, I feel that's where we differ, though, because that's actually probably would be one of the only shooters that I would feel like compelled and interested to watch, because I know the maps, like the same way you guys know CSGO maps and weapons and shit like that. Like, I know all that shit about Halo, so that's for me. Like, I think for like the old heads who are still maybe haven't been as ingrained in like the esports scene. Like for me, like if Halo were to get as big as like CDL or even Overwatch League, which probably wouldn't happen. But if like the Halo, what the fuck is the major Halo? What is Halo? The Halo major called? See, I don't even know. But Halo has like a major league, and if that were to get that big, I mean, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Like really pop off.
So you mentioned that the old heads want to watch competitive Halo, while the even older heads want to watch competitive Quake.
Yeah, I mean, what's an interesting esport to watch? It's all subjective. It's like saying, hey, you enjoy watching football, so you're gonna love watching baseball. No, like you like what you like, you enjoy what you enjoy. You grew up in different times where you're not going to watch a game that you don't know what the fuck is going on if there's nothing in you that makes you want to learn about that game. Mm-hmm. The only thing that makes esports, like an esport you don't know, interesting and actually entertaining to watch if you don't know the game, is the atmosphere behind it. You're not going to get that type of atmosphere behind a computer screen if you don't know the game. If you're at DreamHack, if you're at PAX, or wherever you are, some tournament, you're at the CDL, and you don't know Call of Duty, you don't know Counter-Strike, but everyone's going wild, you can still feed into like the vibe of like everyone around you, even if you don't know what's going on. Granted, you might not enjoy it as much as someone who lives, breathes, dies by the game, but you could have fun doing that. I don't think you're able to get that electricity behind a computer screen, and I don't see them doing really in-person big tournaments for Halo anymore.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I am not... ready to pronounce it completely dead. I think I really do think that this is a really big step. Halo, like MCC was on like the top charts for Mixer and Twitch when it launched, and I'm sure that, or when it launched on PC, and I'm sure that momentum is hopefully going to keep going. Hopefully, it's not just like going to fizzle out and like the hype keeps rolling. But I guess we'll see. Halo Infinite is definitely going to be a huge indicator of the future of that franchise, and I know that Microsoft has a ton of chips on it, and to be honest, so do I. So we'll see what happens. But final topic, because we're kind of like wrapping up this episode, and this is a big one. This is one that's near and dear to the whole internet's hearts. This is something that I have not seen the world unite around a cause. And I have not seen the entire world cry out in celebration at once since like the soldiers came home from World War II. I am of the mind that they could very well be another baby boom on the way after Avalanche of the mob of 100 Thieves has finally been verified on Twitter. And this young man, this guy, who, I mean, the dude tweets his ass off.
Yeah, he's a Twitter goon.
He's a Twitter goon. And long story short, he has been on a crusade to get himself verified. Chris, do you want to give the people at home the rundown of what was going on?
Yeah, so Avalanche is a part of the mob, who are content creators at 100 Thieves. Through and through, Avalanche, Mako, Frosty, and Classified, those are the members of the mob. They are legitimate Twitter goons. The funniest people you will ever find on Twitter, and I cry laughing looking at their stuff. And I'm a big Twitter guy, and they're some of my favorites. So after all this time, they got hired by 100 Thieves, made their stars being like mods in other people's chats and just kind of trolling on Twitter, spamming in Twitch chats. Nadeshot gave them the opportunity to work at 100 Thieves as content creators. So them being there for a little bit, they just kept pleading and asking, can you get us verified, please? Like, that's all we want. We just want the blue check mark. They're just younger guys. They're funny. Like, they make content out of it. It's awesome. So Nadeshot gave them the opportunity to finally get verified. He goes, if you guys go dark on social media, you don't touch social media, and like they made them like in the video they had out there, they had to put their cell phones in this like plastic treasure chest and lock in, throw the key away. They couldn't go on social media for 24 hours. And I know it sounds like, oh, like no big deal, 24 hours, like it is what it is. These kids are addicted to it, like legitimately addicted to it. So they all made it through, but Mr. Avalanche forgot that he had a scheduled tweet for around midnight Eastern time and which is roughly 2.5 hours, 3 hours before he would have completed his 24 hours. So he woke up in the morning seeing that his scheduled tweet went off and ruined his 24 hours. So his 3 other members of the mob got verified and he didn't. So the whole day went on, really upset, and Nate Shot gave him one last opportunity. He goes, if you can get a hashtag verify Avalanche trending #1 in the United States, I'll get you verified. And within 36 minutes, everyone on the internet streets came together. And within 36 minutes, hashtag free Avalanche was trending #1 in the United States.
Unbelievable.
Getting tweeted, getting hashtagged by the Colorado Avalanche. We're talking pro esports organizations. We're talking professional athletes. Everyone you can imagine, like YouTube content creators with millions and millions of followers, they literally all came together for such a small cause. But they're like, this is our community. Let's put on for the kid. And then after that 36 minutes, when they realized it was #1, a little later, after like 20,000 tweets, it ended up going #1 in the world.
Yeah.
That's a little rundown on thing. It's an absolute beautiful thing to see people on the internet, because not for nothing, the internet spews some negative bullshit. And for a little good to come out of it, like to brighten up a 21, 22-year-old, however old the kid is, to brighten up his day, get him that blue check mark that he's been working decades for. I love it. I absolutely love it. What do you guys think about the whole thing?
I mean, being on like kind of I feel like I'm kind of on the outside looking in, just not being as familiar with like everything that the mob's done. I mean, I follow a couple of them, and again, just like you had said, and I said this earlier, like the mob just kind of like make me feel good about being just like being a guy on the internet, just being somebody being a human being on the internet, and also just being like somebody who's involved with games, because they're fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like about like toxicity and negativity. Like they're here to like have some laughs, have a good time, support their boys. Nade Shot was cool enough to take a couple kids who really loved his shit and were his mods and basically give them the life, essentially.
Yep.
And then people love them, and there's a reason why. They're magnetic, they're electric, they're funny, they're positive. Like, it makes me feel good that it's not, out of all the, people like YouTubers or like Twitter content creators, streamers, whatever, who thrive off of negativity and just kind of really just aren't doing a whole lot of good. These kids are really just like, it's like pleasant to
a breath of fresh
it
air.
Like makes me happy. Like I've never been so happy. I haven't been this happy for a stranger in a very long time. And it just makes me feel good to know that all this kid wanted was a blue check, and the next thing you know, there's 37,000 tweets and the entire fucking world's rallying around him. And you know what? He deserves it. So with great power comes great responsibility, though. So don't let it go to waste.
Dude, there's going to be some gold coming out of that crew with blue check marks now. But enjoy the blue check marks, boys. You guys you guys are absolutely hilarious. Hope the future is very bright for you guys. Thanks for shining a bright light on the gaming community and making things light and fun. Really love that.
Bro, you got any thoughts?
I mean, not really. It's pretty much just more of what you guys already said. Like, there are a handful of people on the internet that don't make the internet suck. And
exactly.
I mean, there just needs to be more of that. So if you're going to reward people that are, promoting positivity and just genuine, like, good times, please do more of that.
Yep.
Please give more positive people on the internet blue check marks if that's going to be the catalyst to create more of that, instead of the frothing fucking people foaming at the mouth, just writing behind anonymous keyboards and monitors all of the negative shit that they can. Good on them for not being assholes. It's rare these days.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They deserve it.
Absolutely.
Ride with the mob. Yeah, that's all I got on that. Enjoy the blue check marks, boys.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're coming right up against it. Let's land this train, boys. Bubba goes, let's get hashtag Bob's Miserable trending.
Oh my god, that'll go fucking wild.
I'm not even that miserable. Oh my god, whatever, guys.
Shut up, Scrooge.
Whatever. Fuck you. You're getting fucking coal for Christmas too.
All right, Eeyore.
Hashtag Bob's horny. Oh my god.
Calling the horny police, Bob.
No, don't. They'll fucking kick my door down.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
All right. Chris, who do you got?
I want to shout out a 5-star review that we got on iTunes.
Oh.
It is from Sigma Toss. The title is Rest in Peace, Just Okay. It says, I found out about you lovely boys about a year ago through Just Okay, and I've been hooked ever since. It breaks my heart to know that we will never hear another episode of them, but because of them, I found you guys, and I'm so grateful for that. I can't wait every week to hear what you guys have been up to. I am an Uber driver, and your show helps my day fly by. I've only been a fan for a year, but I'm nearly caught up. Much love to you guys, and here's to another 3 great years. Cheers, Dustin. P.S. Zoltan Bob is the best, which...
Gang.
I don't want to say it, but I don't want to cut it out on him. But Dustin, thank you so much for the kind words, brother. We honestly, we appreciate it more than we can say. And anyone else that wants your review, shout it out. Just leave a 5-star review on iTunes, and we'll read it.
We'll read whatever you say, as long as it doesn't get us TOS'd.
That's right.
Big shout out to Austin. Austin shot us a message on Facebook. It was really nice to wake up to this morning, like 7:30 in the morning. We got a screenshot that he sent us of him listening. He got like his Spotify yearly rundown, and it said like, you listened to 1,200 minutes of podcasts this year, and it was literally just our show. And he was like, keep it up, my dudes. Thanks for the best podcast on the planet. I got some catching up to do, but stay hilarious. And Austin, thank you. We salute you. Thank you for the love. Rolling out of bed in the morning and like getting ready to start my day and not being like the most excited to kind of just like get going. Like seeing that was better than a morning coffee. Like I was like walking on sunshine after that. Really makes me feel good, and it really just like validates the stuff that we've put together. So we really, really appreciate it when you guys show us love. I'm not like, asking for like, not like fishing for compliments, but it does really feel good. So yeah.
Absolutely. Before we send it off with Bob, we did get one more of those on Instagram today. And it is from
The San.
Yeah, the San who Santiago. He sent us a similar screenshot saying that he's listened to the podcast for 725 hours, and it's his number one listened to podcast. Says, thank you guys. You guys have an awesome podcast. So thank you, Santiago. Appreciate that as well. Means a lot.
He's not from the States, right?
No, he's from Argentina.
Hey, shout out to the Argentinian pack.
From Argentina, baby. We international, boy.
We are international. It's wild.
Mr.
Wild
Worldwide.
Oh my god! You remember when we had the after party after PAX, and we had a board game developer at the show? I can't remember where he was.
Board game developer.
Yeah, he developed a
lead game developer.
Lead tabletop game.
Oh yeah, he was from like Sweden or something like that.
Chile.
He was from Chile, yeah. And he came up to us. He's like, "Dude, can I get a picture with you guys? You guys are my favorite podcast." And we were like, "Wait a second, are you in the right place?"
Yeah, you know where you are, pal. Love that.
But
yeah. So shout out to everybody that showed us all this love today, and thank you Spotify for making them available.
Yeah, thanks for making those analytics possible.
Yeah, I mean you're fucking lacking analytics everywhere else, so thanks for showing us this, I guess. Yeah, it's heartwarming to see people appreciate what we do. We're 3 fucking degenerates that do this, for shits and giggles. Like, we enjoy doing what we do, and it means a lot to know that people enjoy what we do. So yeah, shout out to you guys. And I also got to give one big shout out to fucking Evil Geniuses, who are gonna stomp through the quarterfinals tomorrow in CSGO. So if you are an NA fan of Counter, please watch the EG game tomorrow. They're gonna I think they play Fnatic. I have to double check, but go get them, EG.
Yeah. Oh, also big shout out to everybody who donated to the Movember page. I know we had a couple of pack who chimed in on there. The team at my 9 to 5 raised over $5,000, which is pretty wild. So big year. I think that's our biggest year ever. So really happy about that. Thank you guys for the support. And thank you guys for listening. This has been episode 157 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. We love you a whole lot. And listen, if you haven't already, right? I mean, and I'm obligated to tell you this, Go to twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming. Steal your significant other's Amazon Prime. Subscribe to us on there because it's totally free. And then, listen, if you want to listen to this beautiful pre-recorded version of the podcast, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and Overcast. And, you know, we're there every week. Your internet dads. We're here live and direct. I believe next week's show is going to be next Wednesday, live at twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming. So make sure you keep a little ear out for that. And make sure you join us in our Discord. I'm going to make sure that I put the Discord link in the chat. And I believe it's in the show notes as well. So make sure you check that out. But until next time, this has been episode 157 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. We love you so much. And we'll see you next week.